A Factor World exclusive, interrogating the interrogators. The Joint Task Force at Guantanamo Bay has a number of skilled interrogators whose task is to break hardened terrorists and get as much information as possible. The military says about 35% of the detainees have given up solid information. 65% remain defiant. Tonight, for the first time on TV, two military interrogators talk. We obviously have to protect their identities.
All right, take me through top to bottom. You walk in to an interrogation, okay? The guy comes in. You sit down with the guy. What happens?
Well, there's a lot of prep work that goes into it before the interrogation starts, sir. I'll usually do 2 or 3 hours of research in the morning, reading the guy's file from start to finish. He may be restrained, or he may be unrestrained, depending on his level of cooperation. Some of these guys are very dangerous individuals, and don't want them coming out of the chair at me.
Is there a time when it's better to interrogate, when they're tired, when they're distracted, something like that?
I don't find any difference as far as the time of day that I interrogate, sir. If a person's using a cover story, I'm going to eventually get it out of them, because it's hard to remember a lie over a period of years.
So you catch them in a lie, they go, so I lied. So what? Then what do you say?
Well, you've got a chink in the armor, sir, and it's easy to pull on that string and start to unravel the whole story.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So what is it, a macho thing? If you catch him in a little lie, then he starts to back up? Because he doesn't really have to tell you anything. If you're not using coerced interrogation, and you say you're not, if you're not torturing a guy, I mean, he doesn't have to tell you anything. He goes back to his cell, and what? 65% of these people are not going to tell you anything, right?
That's true, sir. That's true. I think for some of them it's actually a challenge. I've heard the yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you've read their file and you know their lie better than they do, it becomes a very easy thing to start picking it apart.
Do you ever yell at them?
Negative, sir.
Never raise your voice?
I take that as a sign that I've lost the chess match. If I raise my voice, then at that point you're showing that you've lost. And that's,
do they raise their voice to you?
Yes, sir.
Say hateful things to you?
Yes, sir.
Give me an example.
I brought a meal in, broke bread with a detainee, talked with him at length, and then at the end of the interrogation stood up, shook his hand. He said, "I like you a lot and I respect you a lot, but when I get out of here, I'm gonna hunt you down and try to kill you." And that's a pretty common thing. There are a lot of individuals that will try to play mind games with the guard force and the interrogators, and they're very good at it. And you just have to be a professional.
Why do they want to kill you?
They view you as not only the enemy, but as a non-Muslim. They view you as an infidel, and I'm not saying all the detainees are like that, but there are a certain hardcore element in here that would like nothing better than to get personal information about me, about my family, and do bad things once they get out of here.
Just because you don't believe in Allah?
There's probably a gamut of reasons, sir, but that's the one that seems to come up quite a bit. People
say, look, they've been here for 4 years. You've only been here for a year. You're not going to get anything out of them. If they haven't given it up after 4 years, they're not going to give it up. What say you?
I'd say that's absolutely incorrect, sir. If you're telling me a lie, I can go back and I can research it. You're going to eventually forget that lie. Over a 4-year period, you're going to change slight details of your story. You're going to get confused. You're going to get mixed up. And it doesn't take anything extravagant to get you to trip yourself up on that lie. And once you get a person to trip up on one thing, it's pretty easy to keep pulling on that string and unravel the whole story. And it can all be done with patience, with a good analyst, and without even coming close to violating any kind of law of armed conflict or Geneva Convention.
Have you gotten a big score out of any of these guys?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how that score translated into the safety for the country?
I can't get into any details on it, sir, but what I can tell you is that there are a number of individuals here who have information that still has the potential to catch bad guys around the globe, guys that would love to kill yourself, myself, innocent civilians.